Welcome back. We've got Maurice and Kelly. We're going to react to a video from the Law and Crime Network. This video is titled Cops Admit They Have the Wrong Guy and Arrest Him Anyways. We've never seen this before. We're going to give you our comments, the good, the bad, and please do the same in the comments below. All right, you guys ready? Let's go.
Ready.
A Texas man is now suing the city of Dallas and multiple of its police officers after this incident, when authorities wrongfully arrested him after he was confused with a domestic violence suspect. The single father of four was just on the way to pick up French toast and bacon for his children's breakfast. The arrest dates back to October 16th, 2021, when a now 27-year-old Silvester Hayes was pulled over in Dallas.
Okay, well, what's your information? That's all.
Damn, I'm finna go get some for my baby, something to eat.
Okay, hey, if you're good, sir, you're good.
Body camera video shows officers look over his driver's license and mistake his name for a wanted DV suspect.
See? Yeah.
According to a lawsuit filed by Hayes, his first name is spelled Silvester. He argues investigators were searching for another Silvester Hayes, one who spells his first name Sylvester.
Come on, step up with me. I'll explain it to you. Date of birth.
Yeah, I was going to say,
driver's license
isn't this
number,
why we, exactly.
address. There's a lot of other things other than just the spelling of your name.
Uh-huh.
I know. Step out. I'll explain everything.
No, sir. Tell me why.
I'll explain everything.
No, I'm trying to get him out the car. You didn't give me permission. I didn't give you permission to open the door. None of it.
Right now, you are being detained. Come on and step out.
Hey, yeah, that's right.
Come on and step out. Come on.
Man, this is kind of my people.
Come on and step out, bro. Come on and step out. Come on and step out. You're gonna get tased. Come on and step out.
Pulling out a tape?
Come on and step out, bro. Come on and step out.
Bro,
Come on and step
don't
out.
touch
Come on
me,
and
huh?
step out.
Bro.
Step
What
out.
are y'all? Man, hold on, bro.
Come on and step out.
Man, hold on, man.
The internet loves to talk about what a lawful command is, right? And you hear it all in the comments. So we know now, just by the introduction, that this was mistaken identity, right? Is it still a lawful command to step out of the car?
Yeah, because the officers believe at this time that this guy has a warrant out for his arrest. They don't have to be right, unfortunately. They can be wrong. So in this situation, I mean, like we always say, if you're getting a command to get out of the car, you're not doing yourself any good by resisting. Just get out of the car, don't say anything, and, let your attorney deal with it in court because you could get hurt. You could get additional charges against you. And if they tell you to get out of the car, they're not just going to be like, okay, you don't want to, no problem, we're going to go then.
Right, yeah.
So
I would agree, even though it's, knowing what we know now, it feels very wrong and it feels like absolute bullshit. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it is a lawful command.
yeah, it's basically people versus run.
Yeah.
Disagree, Maurice?
No, I struggle with this like on a daily basis. Yes, legally it is a lawful command. Is it morally and just? Hell no.
Is it
And-
BS 100%?
For sure, especially when like they have the wrong person in there commanding you to get out of the car.
Right.
Yeah, this grinds my gears.
Same.
Totally. And the truth is, right, we're talking about what does the law say, right? I think it is a lawful command. I think he's violating, he's committing a unlawful act by not getting out of the car. Practically speaking, is this ever going to stick once it comes to the light of day that they got the totally wrong person? I would say I sure hope not, right? Like, I don't know about this jurisdiction. Maybe Texas is a wacky place. But practically speaking, I think the majority of the places, that's never going to stick.
Right.
As long as it remains, sort of a nonviolent resistance, right?
Yeah.
This guy starts throwing haymakers or pulls out a weapon or something, then, yeah, you're,
Maybe. I went to law school in Texas, actually. So, Texas being what it is, it's actually in their constitution. Like a citizen has the right to resist.
Stand your ground.
Yeah, even against police officers.
Yeah.
So again, consider that in light of Texas and what their constitution says as far as you can legally resist an unlawful arrest.
Really interesting issue there. Yeah, and obviously we don't know. I don't know the details of Texas, but really interesting issue there.
Body camera video shows the moment first responders realized Hayes is armed with a gun. They later determined the weapon was legally registered in his name.
Yeah, have a
It's not hard to have a gun registered legally in Texas. I was gonna say too, what kind of sucks is that like the officers didn't say like, hey, we're pulling you out of the car because you have a warrant for DV, and then like they maybe could have given them the chance to say like, that's not me, you got the wrong guy.
Yeah, how often do we see that?
I love my wife, I'm picking up French toast and bacon for her.
Right.
We see that too often though. You have an officer tell you get out of the car and somebody's asking why. Like
Right.
And they're like, don't worry about it, just get out. I'll tell you later.
Right. Again, as a police officer, why not go the extra mile? Like treat some people with some decency and some common courtesy and let them know, wow, you have a warrant. We're investigating whether or not it's you. Do you mind stepping out while we work that out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
If it's not you, we're going to release you right here.
Exactly. It takes literally 2 seconds and avoids all this mess to do that.
Yeah.
Hopefully avoids all this.
Hopefully,
If
right.
you don't have a cop with an ego problem, they're like, listen, man, this is seriously not me. Like, okay, maybe I should double check this,
That's called a clue.
Right.
Bro, this is my gun. Bro, this is my Stop. Stop. Hey, all right. You got some foot on my neck. Bro. I got some foot on my neck, bro.
Right here, like immediate,
Yep.
takes you back to George Floyd. That was happening around, this time, shortly after this time. Again, he's talking about the pressure on his neck. Obviously, you're, cutting somebody's airway off. So, of course, like, the guy has a reason to be afraid, obviously, because of what we all saw nationally.
Right.
And this, like, if the cops aren't careful, and this could be a repeat of, what happened with George Floyd in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another issue is like you take the victim as you find them. Like these guys don't know if he has any like pre-existing medical conditions, back problems. You're yelling out, my neck, my neck, my neck. And there's so many people there. It's kind of like that mob mentality, that no one's really even listening to him.
And if you're cutting off somebody's airway, guess what? My body is going to tense up, and I'm going to do everything to try to restore my airway back.
Exactly. Yeah, like
unfortunately,
survival.
unfortunately, they're just going to put more pressure on it. So it's lose-lose.
I remember from the George Floyd trial afterwards, or the trial of those officers. There was a lot of talk of whether or not that sort of knee on the neck or back of the neck was lawful or within policy department procedures. I don't, does it matter what the policies are for this specific police department?
I think it always matters for any police department. I don't know any nationally recognized police department that's accredited that trains their officers to put their foot in somebody's neck.
They don't.
It should be in between their shoulder blades. And again, with the least amount of pressure possible, because you don't want to have somebody suffer from that excited delirium, or cut off their airway just from trying to put them in handcuffs.
I don't have no felony. Get in the car. No hell. Stop. Get in there.
Jeez.
Well, y'all hurting me. Get in the car. Help me. Help. Somebody help me. Stop. Stop. Y'all hurting me.
No, we're not.
You're hurting yourself.
No,
What
we're not.
are y'all doing? You are hurting yourself.
Hey, while he's down, search him.
Bro, I don't have
Gun in
anything.
his pocket. Yeah.
Bro, I don't
Put a gun
have
on it.
anything,
It's
bro.
on the floorboard of the front passenger.
Bro, I don't.
Hold it up.
It is my name. Bro, you're questioning my pressure points.
Stop!
Bro.
You're getting this because you're acting this way. This is 100%, and I'm not your.
Eventually,
Y'all
This
hurting
is
me,
you
bro.
acting.
You touching my body weight now. Y'all are in big trouble.
All right, let's get him up.
All right,
Ready,
y'all are in
straight
big
to
trouble.
us.
Yeah.
Ready, 1, 2, 3, up.
Y'all are in big trouble, man.
Have a seat in the car.
I can't even get up, man. My
Get up.
I'd be thanking these officers for the retirement they're about to give me.
Yeah.
bro. Come on, you a black man. Look how they doing, man. I got 4 kids, man. I got 4 kids at the house, man. That's my weapon is in my name. Bro, y'all doing this for no reason, man. I gotta go get something to eat for my kids, bro. Okay. I gotta go get something to eat for my kids, and that's how they do me. yo.
Video captures Hayes discussing the situation with an officer who arrived late on the scene. The officer mentioned.
I'm going to pause right there because I think that was significant. The officer arrived late on the scene. Totally different mentality, right? Wasn't part of that, aggressive, violent takedown. Officer shows up, clear head, and says, "What do we got going on here?"
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty easy to catch it then, right? It's when you're one of the five there who are wrestling and fighting, and then you're not even considering
That you could be wrong.
Yep, you're not even looking at the details.
Mentions the other Silvester Hayes, confirming there's a warrant out for his arrest.
I came in late for everything.
And they handled me so rough, sir. I complied. I said, what am I gonna be stuck for? I didn't give nobody no attitude or anything, sir. I got 4 kids that was waiting on me right now. They're hungry. I'm trying to go feed them, man.
Okay.
And that's it. I don't know. Like they say, I failed the signal at the stop sign.
The stop sign? Okay.
I mean, I was wrong for that. Yes.
So that was the reason for contact for the stop. Okay.
Yes, I understand that. And I was gonna tell them, like, what am I being detained for? I don't have any warrants. My name is I have warrants maybe for speeding or something like that. But
Stop talking,
family violence or anything.
What is your name?
Silvester Hayes.
Silvester Hayes.
The name of a champion. And they doing this because I don't know if it's because my skin is.
It has nothing to do with the skin.
Look how they handled me, sir. I didn't do anything to deserve
there was a gun, right?
But I wasn't pulling. I told him I had a weapon. I told him this.
Okay.
I told him this. This is my name.
Okay.
If they run it, it's going to say Silvester Hayes.
Okay. Mr. Hayes. So, and I don't know all the story, but there is a...
This officer hasn't said anything of substance yet. I'm going to guess by the way he's talking, he already knows they fucked up.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, so I'm not sure what happened, but
I wasn't there, not to blame, but...
he's already like kind of doing the backtrack precursors right here.
Mr. Hayes, right? So give me a second, right? And that Silvester Hayes does have a warrant.
Yeah, maybe that's... I'm the third, man.
Okay, so your last name is Hayes?
Hayes. Silvester Hayes is third. S-I-L...
Right there, he's like,
S-T-E-R.
Okay, and then your date of birth?
Yeah.
Wait a second. We can handle all this, but when guns or stuff and stuff like that are
the gun has nothing to do with
That's
it.
what
With everything, come on, man. With everything that's going on now, why would I pull the gun, man? I ain't trying to be another.
He said he told the cops that he had a gun, and this is Texas. Like,
I don't have to say it, man. I'm fighting for my life, man. I got 4 babies at the house, man. What if happened and they would have? Come on, man.
I understand.
For nothing, though.
So
for
here,
nothing. My car's up today. I'm paying on it. Like I got a good job. I work security.
I didn't do anything.
he's like, let me just tell you we messed up and we'll get you out of here.
He said I didn't do anything.
I
Yeah.
understand. And like what I said, I do apologize. Like if you feel like they roughed you up or whatever, I do apologize. But anytime that there's a gun involved and like traffic stop, I'm like, hey, so.
Wait, what? So anytime we do a traffic stop and someone has a gun here in Texas, we take them down to the ground.
Yeah,
Right.
Like, no.
No.
I mean, I get it. He's just trying to backpedal.
Yeah, he's trying to cover the department.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to eventually say, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the wrong guy. I just want to hear those words.
Give us a second. We're going to have these dudes check you out.
What's going to happen to when they tell him that and then, like, uncuff him?
They're probably still going to charge him with resisting
You
arrest.
saw me run it, it came back clear. It's not stolen.
None of that, right?
The cop.
It shouldn't have to be all this, man.
I got you.
Are you the chief? Or like, what are you the
Me?
Yeah.
So I'm part of this team. So this is all my team. Like all these dudes are my teammates.
Come on, man. You need a better team, man.
And that's why I'd rather talk to everybody. Good.
And he's like,
right,
your
wrong,
car
and
didn't come
different.
back stolen? Like, what's up? Nobody
I'll
said
talk to
anything was stolen.
Right, look over here.
Yeah. Good thing your car didn't come back stolen. The
Right.
gun is,
Let me
it's
talk
a
about
real
it.
problem here.
Forget all that. Just get yourself a better team.
I love that.
At least you trying to, like, they didn't even try to hear me, man.
Okay. No, I'm just putting my hand up here. I'm just putting my hand up here.
Oh, okay, man. I'm like,
So they'll check you out, and like what I said, let me figure out what's going on here, and I'll
That
talk
was
to you.
smart.
Okay.
all right.
Give me a second.
Soon, a Dallas police sergeant arrives on the scene.
Yeah, you fucked fucked up.
It's also kind of
Yeah.
like you hope that maybe he'll like calm down from going to the ambulance, and then you could tell him, and he'll just get back into his car.
Well, you said it was smart to have EMTs check him out.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's part of their policy.
Yeah.
Dallas PD has had some incidents in the past.
Sure.
where I think, it's part of their policy to get somebody checked out with the EMT.
Yeah, it makes sense. And, you know, he's probably not, I mean, he didn't appear to be injured. He's not complaining of a bunch of injuries, thankfully, right? So you get EMT on record to confirm
Absolutely.
that. Like if you're the police department, I'm saying,
Correct.
right? And then later on, you're like, oh shit, he's suing us for all these injuries. Like, well, you know, EMT did check you out. And
Yeah.
they didn't find any of that.
Yeah.
And he could make statements in the ambulance like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm not hurt,
Sure.
feeling fine. That would help the police too.
The next day, I would go right to the hospital.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Claiming everything.
That's right.
My neck, my back, my neck and my back.
Arrives on the scene. The original 2 officers who pulled Hayes over explain what happened.
We were sitting at the church and we were just gonna start doing traffic. She's running plates. Okay. I'm like, hey, run that Hyundai. So she runs it and she was like, oh, let's look at the registered owner or whatever. So she does. She goes to AIS and that's a cross reference and it pops up red. So she's like, okay. She kind of looks at it, but by that time we had already lost them. We had already gone into like the Family Dollar parking lot or whatever. The Family Dollar parking lot. So then, as she's searching, she finds out that the name that she put on there, whatever was on AIS, had continuous family violence, warrant. So then, we get behind him up here because we see the car moving on Illinois. So we catch up to it and we get up here to Southern Oaks. And he fails to signal within 100 feet from the stop sign here in Southern Oaks and Overton. And as soon as he came up here, we obviously pulled him over.
So you got the reason for contact.
Yeah.
Who
so
cares
I
about
pulled up
the
to the
failed
car and I'm like,
signal?
hey man, look, you got pulled over for this, this, and this. And he was like, well, that's not fair because you were watching me from the other side. I was like, yeah, we were on the other side of the light. Well, you were crossing. So obviously, you know what I mean? Yeah. So then I was just like, you have your ID with you. And so he gives it to me. And obviously I handed it over to her and she was like, Silvester Hayes, like that's the name that was
So
on
she
the
didn't
warrant.
even run
But-
it.
So you got a good warrant.
Well,
So, all right, Maurice, I'm interested in your take on that police work thus far, right? I mean, it sounds to me like that's just what you do, right? And if it comes up broad match, let's figure this out.
I would say everything leading up until them pulling them out of his car is standard textbook police work.
Okay.
What about when they got the DL? Then don't you think she should have brought that back to her car and like double checked the information that was popping red for the warrant?
Definitely. That's what they should have done.
That's the moment right there.
Yeah,
where
that's
they
the
failed.
moment I'm saying where everything was downhill from there because, you can run plates as a police officer. That's how they solve some, crime and, fight crime, whatever. You get that information, you follow up on it again, but it sounds like the officer honestly made an error because as he's talking about the red message pops up, but then like the screen, the information that she saw went away. And then she just recalls from looking at the license, oh, that's the name I saw.
Yeah.
And then they just
Then
proceeded
they pull
to
him
do
out
what
of
they
the
were
car.
doing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where they messed up right there.
There becomes a point where you have to like drill down and confirm.
Right.
Looking in databases, pretty hard. You don't got the guy, and the guy's driving away. Running plates, again, it's like you're dependent on what this database is pulling back. But now, once you've got him stopped, you've got the driver's license, here is your moment to pull it all together and confirm with the things we mentioned earlier. Addresses, pictures, date of birth, obviously, social security, all those things. And that is the moment of failure. Now I have a question. Do you think this officer is about to tell you, yes, that's exactly where it went wrong? I totally fucked up right there.
You can just tell from his narrative. Oh, we were running plates. He failed to signal 100 feet before the intersection.
What had happened was...
that burden shifting already.
I'm like, hey, bro. So in order for us to be able to like,
Get out of here, bro.
fully investigate, because he was already acting weird. So I'm like, hey, bro,
He was already giving him trouble.
I'm like, can you just step out of the car for me?
That's not what you said.
Yeah, no.
And at that point,
They asked him to step out of the car because of
I'm like, bro,
the
come
warrant
on.
that he didn't
So that's
pay.
when Reggie pulled up, and we tried to get him out of the car, and the fight was on.
Okay.
And then
And the
I was
fight
like,
was on. Okay.
bro, come
So
on.
you got jail traffic, resisting arrest, right?
Yeah, we have failed to signal 100 feet, and then he has tickets.
Did
he
we
had a gun
mention
in
the
his
failed to
pocket 'cause
signal?
he kept going like
Did we
this.
mention he has prior petty speeding tickets?
He had a pistol in his
Did we mention he had furtive movements?
Right.
Yeah.
And at that point, whenever we were trying to get him out of the car, Whitman was on the other side. He was like, gun, right pocket, gun.
Okay, so the gun was in his right pocket.
He has not been convicted. Or no felon?
No felon?
You don't even know. You didn't even look him up.
Okay. Resisting? Okay. Resisting because...
Well, I don't know if we were going to be able to put the resistant because you can't resist.
If we're going to be able to.
and the sergeant knows this. He's resisting because of...
Exactly.
Right.
Why do you think
Exactly.
so?
And that's when the officer's probably like,
Say this for the
Yeah,
record,
the
please.
sergeant is giving him a clue.
You can get him out of the car, but I mean,
Okay.
if the fight is on,
Hold on. So who was on the driver's side?
I was.
So he was listening to your commands at the time, right?
No, he was not. As soon as I had to open the door when I was like, hey, come on, bro, come on, let's step
Because
out.
Whitman saw the gun.
Well,
That's a safety at this point, right?
He saw the gun while we were trying to get him out of the car.
So you got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he was sitting down and we were like me, Reggie, and who else was next to me, we're trying to pull him out of the car.
Okay.
That's whenever Whitman was trying to push him out. He was like, gun, right pocket, gun, right pocket.
Okay.
And so,
But based on your investigation, you have probable cause to stop him because y'all looked at his name and his picture earlier and could identify him?
we couldn't see it in the car. So that's the thing.
So you don't have the
You got
picture.
We had the
traffic
traffic violation.
That's where the traffic stop
Yeah.
became important. They can't, right? I mean, here, something we see a lot, they run a plate, this person, the registered owner of this vehicle has a suspended license, right? So then they pull up the picture, and this is whatever, in this case, black male, whatever, I think it said it was 25 or 27, something like that. You got to visually ID them and be like, yeah, that's very likely to be that same person. You can then base your stop on what you've determined so far, even if there's not a traffic violation. If it's a female or white male or whatever, and you're like, clearly this is not the same person, then you have no legal basis to stop that vehicle unless they've also committed a traffic stop.
Correct.
Traffic violation, then you can stop them. So here it is relevant. If they got tinted windows, they couldn't visual ID them, they need that traffic stop for this to be a legal stop in the first place.
Correct.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to be like, oh, it's an investigative stop, and then it turns into shit. Like, no. So we were going to get...
So when the pistol come back clean?
You're going to get the
it
petty
was clean.
violation.
Clean, okay.
He says so disappointed when he's like, the pistol's clean.
Don't check with the jail sergeant on a UCW charge.
Okay.
All right?
What was that?
Just to make sure, because we got new laws. now.
UCW, it's like
Right, so
unlawful use of
he's not a
criminal weapon,
felon.
something like that.
But not convicted of one, that's different. Any drugs in the car?
I don't know.
Drugs?
They just saw that to search the car.
Just searching for a reason.
They haven't said anything.
They
Okay,
did
that's
search
fine.
the car. We all saw that. That was bullshit too.
But if he resisted, he resisted. You know
Yes,
what I'm
he
saying?
just
So we got him
resisted.
on that, right?
Yeah.
So that we're good. So yeah. So just find out.
Just before the recording ends, the officer mentions confusion with the other Silvester Hayes.
Oh.
The Lester ended up being like the third or something like that. But as soon as I saw the Lester Hayes, I was like, okay, let's get him out while we investigate this.
According
You're
to
trying
court
to backtrack.
documents,
Yeah, they
he's
knew.
lost his job as a security guard and his home after the arrest. He now alleges his 4th and 14th Amendment rights were violated during his arrest. The lawsuit alleges he was racially profiled, leading to his arrest. The lawsuit points to 2 counts of excessive force and 1 count of unlawful arrest. Hayes is now seeking a jury trial, punitive damages, and attorney's fees. Reporting for Law and Crime Network, I'm Sierra Gillespie.
My takeaway here is, while though that sergeant was going through everything that they did, they knew they had the wrong guy. They didn't overtly state, and then we determined it's the wrong guy. But is that the feel you got?
They determined it there after they had him in cuffs and he was in the squad, I think.
Yes.
Like when, that more calmer officer, he knew at that time.
This video would just be so much more satisfying, though, if they went, Sylvester, you're not going to
free
believe
to go, yeah.
this. Right?
Yeah.
And then to see his reaction, but I think they still tried to charge him with something to
Oh, yeah.
cover like their ass. But I think that's the wrong call on the sergeant's behalf. Like he knew that team messed up and was still like, all right, well, we're gonna still charge him with this.
That's why the sergeant had the discussion he had with them, because at the end of the day, he wasn't going to throw any department under the bus.
Yeah.
He's a sergeant for a reason. He knows how to play the game.
Right.
All right, so let's give some grades here. Let's start with perhaps the easy one. The officers, how did they do in conducting themselves? How'd they handle it?
F minus.
Yes.
If I can give them anything lower, I would.
All right.
Yeah. I
Kelly?
would give them an F as well, I think, just for the negligence. Like, they have all the information at their fingertips. They just didn't take an extra minute to verify it. And because of that, lack of effort, then all of this stuff happened. This guy's traumatized. I hope that he does get money out of this situation, but it's like a double check could have saved all of this.
Yep, exactly. I mean, thankfully nobody, or this guy, didn't get seriously hurt or killed.
Right.
We do see that happen. Thankfully that didn't happen, but they still get an F. I mean, just because nobody died doesn't mean you're immune from getting an F. Yeah, it's totally avoidable. It seems like. I mean, it was totally avoidable. All right, how about this driver?
Silvester Hayes.
Silvester Hayes with a Y. What's your grade for him, Maurice?
I'm going to withhold grading him. He was a victim of this incident. I just don't think it's right to grade him.
It's fair enough.
I'm withholding my comment. I just don't. It's a common occurrence. In
I get it.
This guy's community, which I share. It's a reasonable fear for every black man out there. I'm just not going to do it.
Fair enough. So we will withhold grading him. I mean, he is the victim here, no doubt about it. It's really tough to second guess this. He is truly a totally innocent person. Maybe committed a traffic violation at worst. So we're going to withhold grading him. All right, so cops admit they have the wrong guy and arrest him anyways. I actually never even really heard them admit that they have the wrong guy. They kind of went out of their way to not really admit it and focus instead on the resisting. So, we definitely we gave the police Fs on this one, and this guy definitely has a lawsuit. There's not a lawyer in Texas who wouldn't be thrilled to file this lawsuit.
Hopefully some of my law school classmates took it up.
There you go. Hopefully. Yep. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Please leave your comments below. Let us know what you think.